rune reading of the 2022 Gregorian calendar. So, before we get started, I am very much aware that these past 2 weeks I did not post an energy rune reading for these past 2 Wednesdays. You'll have to excuse me, but I've had a couple of changes in my life. One really great, and the other kind of took me by surprise, and so I've been missing in action. But I feel so happy and grateful to be able to get into the energy readings again. This marks the wild boar season, meaning the animal medicine that I will share with you throughout January, February, and March. So yes, let's get to it. May this message find you well and whole. So this energy reading is a different setup than what I've been doing. Last year, towards the end of 2021, in the season of the Red Serpent, I did an audio, an overview, a voiceover, if you will, of the energy readings of energies that I pulled through runes or through the sigils that I created from these runes. But I was shown recently in the past couple of weeks that I need to shift gears in my approach to the readings. So here we have runes, 9 runes that I pulled, okay? And in the meditation that I've done, Source showed me that I needed to work in a grid-like layout, meaning this is symbolic of all pure potentiality, okay? All pure potential outcomes in the readings that I share with you. I will no longer, try to do it in a way where I pull beforehand and do, a voiceover. I think that's, I think it's a great thing to do. It was great practice for me. But Source has shown me something different, and something that will be a lot more connected to what the overall, how the message reaches you overall. So as you can see here, we have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 runes. Okay, I have not looked at them. I randomly pulled them, and I find it very interesting that there are 9 runes. 9 is symbolic of an ending, okay, of an ending. And for me, an ending is a beginning, and a beginning is an ending, okay? Meaning that when we come at the end of something, there is this space of newness, this space of a releasing, if you will, to receive what we need to in the next step on our path. And then at the beginning, in order to receive something new, you must release the old. So it's out with the old, in with the new. And it's very, I think, connected and very, I'd say connected to, the beginning of this new year, and, the ending of things from the previous year. So let's get into it. This is, I haven't done this layout yet. This is the first reading for it, and let's see what Source has to say and what Source has to share with us at this time, my dear human collective. Here we go. So, pure potential outcomes. So what is that? I've used that phrase before in previous readings, and I am a reader where I don't like to hook into any or just one storyline. I think that there's an outcome for many of us because many of us are in different paths. And we make different, decisions. We can all be on a very similar path, but the decisions that we make on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis pulls us in different directions, and thus we receive very different outcomes. So, but with all that being said, there's always the center, there's always a core, okay? There's always a place where we can use as reference, okay? And I'm gonna pull this one in the middle here. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the full moon rune, and forgive me, but I have lost track of what day we're on, or how close we are to the full moon. I've been that busy and that distracted with other life happenings, and so it's very fitting. I do know I looked outside last night and I saw this beautiful full moon, so it's very fitting. So full moon, a manifestation of sorts. And you know, as a human collective, we see this manifestation of events. Okay, there's some of you that are planning to manifest for this new year. There's some of you that have made plans last year in the last cycle, and now you're beginning to see results. Okay, whenever I see this, whenever I pull this energy, it's a result of some kind, or you're in the crux of pulling things together and organizing your ideas, and clarifying the steps that you're taking to manifest what it is that you desire. Okay, some of you are seeing results from last year's hard work, and then others of you are putting in that hard work right now. You're making that plan, okay? And that's what I'm seeing here. I feel pulled to pull this rune at the upper left corner. Okay. This is the Rune of Patience, okay? This is the broken arrow rune. And now, when you hear broken arrow, you're hearing, deflated dreams, okay? Right? You have that arrow, like with the Sagittarius, right? They have the archer, okay? And so you have that bow, and you have that, and you pull it back and you point it into the sky, or you're pointing it into the direction, your goal, and you let go. And with this one, with this rune, the broken arrow means that it's some of you that have set out on something. Okay, my human collective. Some of you that have set out on one path, it's not panning out as you thought it would, okay? With the broken arrow, it's asking you to pause before you jump ship, before you dive deep into this pool of opportunity. You see that? That full moon energy is like something's ready to manifest, something's ready to come to life, to come to fruition. And then some of you are being asked to stand firm, but allow the chips to fall as they may. Know your core intention. If you know your intention, you have nothing to worry about here. It's only those of you that you have such drive and such force with this full moon energy, but no direction. And when you have a lack of direction, when you have a lack of direction and no goal, it's very easy to lose focus. It's very easy to go or to be guided in a completely different way, in a completely different path that you either couldn't see, or you just weren't really connected with. And that's something that's incredibly important. A lot of the time, according to the Gregorian calendar that we use in society, we have that 12-month cycle. We'll set off, in a big adventure, and then the real adventure begins, right? We will start off with all of these, strong intentions and just, yes, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. And then the second adventure starts when the whole plan goes to pot. Okay. It completely falls apart. And that's when you, as the traveler on the journey, okay, on the path, you have to have that strength. You have to find that inner strength within yourself, okay? And now I feel pulled here. Pull this rune at the bottom right hand corner. And this is the corner the Rune of Alchemy, okay? You have the Rune of Alchemy, energy manipulation, chaos. And that's what I'm seeing here, and it's very connected to that full moon, because during full moon energies, we tend to have this flux of chaotic energy where, you know, in the beginning of a moon cycle, there's that moon energy where it's very organized and it's very predictable and quiet and tame, but this is untamed energy, okay? And so we're asked, some of you will be struggling with finding that inner strength with this whole new direction that you're being pulled down, okay? And I want to say pulled down, but given that the energy is sitting here below the grid, okay, I'm seeing like there's a pull, like a kind of a heaviness with this energy, this chaotic energy that may knock you off of your focus. All right. Okay. I feel pulled here to pull the rune here, the bottom left corner. Ah, okay. I see the eye, the serpent's eye. Okay, I see caution. Be cautious during this time. Some of you will need to be very cautious. Some of you will need to just observe your surroundings, observe that step you're going to take to manifest your goal, your dream, that job or that relationship. Sometimes you really need to just detach yourself from the result, from how you're going to obtain the result. You know, how you're going to obtain whatever it is that you're trying so much to align yourself with. Because a lot of the things that we ask for aren't necessarily things that we need. And a lot of the things that we need, we don't ask for. Okay? You know, because either we find it uneventful, we find that, you know, it's something that's boring, or not, we find that it's not challenging for us. But, you know, you gotta really identify what your needs are at this time rather than what you desire. That's that wild boar energy, that earth energy, okay? The wild boar is symbolic for the earth element and being grounded. And that's what I'm seeing here with this broken arrow. You need to be grounded despite this slight upheaval, if you will, with this chaotic energy. All right, let's move up to the upper right hand corner. And patience. So again, I want to point out that the broken arrow is strength. Okay, you see that one energy is going to the right, another to the left, and that's that wind energy. But then you have that earth. It says stay grounded and observe. Here you have this need for organization. As you can see, tally marks. You know, we keep tally marks to keep organized so that we don't lose track, right? And it's super easy to do that with this strong chaotic energy. That's kind of, whenever I'm seeing this at the bottom of the grid, it's like, okay, you need to be cautious and observant with the steps that you're taking at this time, and make sure that you are keeping organized, and be sure that you are not getting carried away by the gravitas of whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. That is incredibly important, okay? To not lose focus. Okay, so I'm going to flip these energies over here on the corners of the grid. And now I'm going to look at the middle, okay, of our story, of our pure potentiality. Pure potential outcome, okay? So we have that full moon energy. What is above? As above. Oh, okay. We have that star energy, so below. And then we have energy of growth. You have that herb, that plant. And that's incredibly interesting. So a lot of good energy here. When you have this, when you have the star, when you have this angelic energy guiding you, guiding this full moon energy, this huge flux of energy. That's very, very, it's a lot. There's hope there. And then I see some of you will be growing. This is a growing part of your growth, okay? Part of your growth at this time. All right, let's pull the other two here. I see the cup. And then I see, all right, the serpent energy, that kundalini energy. So in very strong spiritual energy at this time. When you see this cup, it's fulfillment. It's finding what fulfills you. And this full moon energy, it's like when you're wanting to manifest, you're really focused on what fills your heart, what fills your body, what fills your being, your energy vortex that I used to focus in on, right? And that's incredibly important. And then you have this flux again of just this wild spiraling energy, okay? And that says quite a lot. I'm hearing the word danger for some reason. You know, I'm hearing Garden of Eden, and I'm seeing this snake in the herbs and the trees. So you have to be very careful who you're speaking to, who you're connecting to at this time, and tuning into source, tuning into that star, you know, that guiding light that will help you and guide you through the Garden of Eden. In the biblical terms, the Garden of Eden is symbolic of that holy spiritual place, but wickedness can take place there, right? Being misled and misguided, you know, through the wisdom of the serpent. And no, I'm not saying the serpent energy is mean or evil or wrong, but it is a tricky energy indeed. And so when you're out in your garden, tending to your garden, be cautious and be wise on what and who you're allowing to fill, or what you're putting in your cup, okay? Because, you know, it's almost like, you know, which one's better for you, a cup of water or a cup of wine, right? You know, and both, there are times to drink that cup of wine. There are times that you should drink that cup of water. You know, that alcohol is symbolic for spirits. That's why they call it spirits, right? Because it opens up you to other spirits of yourself, other aspects of your own consciousness. So be cautious. I'm seeing caution here. But then I'm also seeing, like, follow the guiding light. And remember that the full moon also gives off a light, okay? It's very luminous at night. Like, I've seen some full moons where it's so bright, the light coming from the full moon is so bright and so intense, you could literally walk down the road without a flashlight, okay? And that's that light coming from the sun being reflected back onto the earth. So, again, be cautious in the Garden of Eden. Be cautious of whom you are speaking to, okay? And follow that light, that guiding light. Be cautious in who you're speaking to and who you're allowing to fill your cup, okay? All right. Let's look at some pure potential outlines, okay? And then we will end this reading. Okay. So I see some of you watching your cup. And here's the thing about that, and then I'm seeing the broken arrow. I'm seeing the strength rune. Like, don't just sit and watch and think that your cup's gonna fill by itself. We are given a body for a reason. And given that this is the wild boar season of Earth, that earth element. This is the time where we're doing our taxes, our finances. We're staying within our homes because it's cold out. Doesn't mean that you need to be stagnant, because this can also be very stagnant energy as well. So some of you really need to make sure that you're taking that action that you need to take in order to get that one thing done, that one thing that's important. Okay? Don't just sit and think that someone's just gonna come and fill up your cup just by watching it. It's almost like I'm getting like watching paint dry. No. Once you paint the wall, okay, then move on to something else. All right? But then some of you are being asked to sit and be patient. That this you've sown the seeds last year, and now it's your time to sit and watch that come about. Just be careful that sitting and watching and being observant doesn't turn into stagnation. Okay, that's keeping you from doing something that you need to be doing. All right. Okay. Let's make sure that these look. All right. I'm going to flip these over. Okay, so we have the broken arrow and then the star. Okay, and then we have... Okay, so I feel like I'm going to turn this rune, and that changes the energy a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of strength. A lot of strength. Okay? Some of you will need to just take it step by step, day by day. It's almost like I'm seeing healing here. Personally, I know I'm healing over something I caught recently. And it can be, you can feel like you're not really moving and things aren't going as planned and everything has come full stop. But take this time to just reevaluate, reestablish yourself, and know that it's for the greater good. Okay? Know that if you feel like someone's hit a pause, there's for a reason for it. There's a higher, very beneficial reason for that. So be patient with with the steps that you take. Don't rush. January, February, March is never the time to rush through things or through decisions. It's a great time to do long-term, because I see a timeline here too. Like, long-term planning is January, February, March, okay? Even like plans for the next year like this season is a great time to do that now. Not to truly act. It's not the time to act on those ideas for long-term planning. But it is a great time to plan. Okay. All right. Okay, I feel this timeline here. Well, no. Okay, this is the spine. I see the spine, I see the Kundalini energy, and then I see like source energy itself. Kundalini rising. And for some of us, it's a deep spiritual awakening, to awaken to yourself. And it can be incredibly chaotic, incredibly lonely. There are many words for it. Some people have called it the Kundalini awakening, dark night of the soul. But Kundalini awakening is a little bit more, it deals with the energy, that you're awakening to your energy bodies, and you're developing a certain level of awareness that you didn't beforehand, and this can literally change your life overnight. So some of you will be going through this season, I'm seeing. Okay? All right. I feel like like I want to go diagonal. Okay. Again, it's that energy of observation and full moon in climbing the ladder. Okay? And, you know, sometimes it's okay to hop off that ladder. Okay? Sometimes it's okay to hop off the ladder. You don't need to keep going and climbing and climbing up and climbing up and climbing up. Like, there's no destination. I find that some of you need to make that call and just hop off of the ladder, because the ladder is not going to take you anywhere. That's what I'm seeing. Excuse me. Yeah. So I think that that's our reading for 2022, the first one. And yeah, let me know if you like this setup. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. If you like the other, where I do the voiceover and I break it down and do a very in-depth reading. I typically just felt called to do this grid-like setup, you know, and I was guided to do it this way. So we'll see how, you know, it takes shape and takes form. And yeah, so may this message find you well. And also know that, you know, I have 2 other YouTube channels, Seeds of Silvertree, where I, you know, get into some commentary about consciousness and the like. And then I also have my music YouTube channel called SLVRTR, where I, you know, post music about, you know, spirituality and living prayers. I'm a big advocate on the power of sound and the healing power of music. And so please check it out. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you so much. And always remember, expand your consciousness, embrace supreme loving guidance, and evolve your human being. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year.